How's it going, everybody? Throwing up a garage sale pickups video today. Stuff I got this weekend. I actually just filmed this, but I'm an idiot and didn't delete the Gladius gameplay video, so the timer ran out after a minute and I didn't realize, so I have to put it up again. Ended up being a pretty decent weekend actually, and today I got a pretty decent thing. But first I'll show what I got yesterday. I got Namco Museum Volume 3 for the PlayStation. This was $1. And Wii Sports, which is also $1. Pretty cool. The third thing was cool. It's a Lego Indiana Jones set. It's from Kingdom of the Crystal Skull. I actually have this. I bought a bunch of these back in 2008. Maybe not a bunch, I don't know, like 4. I actually have this one, I'm pretty sure. Maybe I didn't have this one. I think I actually did. And I had a few of the older ones, not from this movie, but from like Temple of Doom and whatnot. But this was $7 and it's still, it's unopened. At least it looks to be unopened. Unless somebody somehow resealed it. It got a little bent up in my backpack. It was already had dents in it, but I had a wedge in my backpack and it got a little more dented, but pretty cool to get this for $7, you know, because this probably went for like $35, $40 back when it came out. And it's got some minifigures in it. Indy, some dudes. This is actually a pretty good movie. Kingdom of the Crystal Skull, a lot of people shit on it. I liked it. I liked it better than Temple of Doom, I think. Not as good as Last Crusade or Raiders of the Lost Ark. Some stupid parts in it, but some also really cool parts. And the thing I got today, which is kind of funny, my girlfriend and I went to the Belmore Flea Market. You know, I was just looking to get some cheap Xbox games, and there was cheap Xbox games, but nothing I wanted. And you know, they had a lot of good stuff there. Some of the vendors had some really good stuff, but stuff's all priced to either higher than it should be, or you know, at what it should be. So you're not really getting any deals on any of that stuff. So we came back, and we were going back because we wanted to go to the park in Belmore. So I happened to look on Craigslist, and so there was a garage sale in Belmore right over there that had a bunch of video games in the pictures, and I was like, oh man, you know, I wish I knew about this earlier because this stuff's going to be gone. And I went there, and the only thing that was gone was a Dreamcast. But there was 2 Nintendos there with a game each and their connections, and those were each $50, which isn't a bad deal, but I had no interest in them. There's a Cube there I didn't ask about, some Game Boy stuff and Game Boy Advance stuff that was like $35, $40, I think, and some random games. But the thing I got was this PlayStation. It came with 28 games. They're like all sport games. For any, you know, it was still an incredible deal. It was $20 for the system. It's got a memory card. It has 3 memory cards that came with it. 2 official ones. This is actually a pretty cool memory card holder. This is the official one. The other one's a third-party one. 3 memory cards and 3 official controllers. There's 2 gray ones and a red one, which looks cool. And 28 games that actually came with this too. The games are all in this thing, this holder. This is part of the deal. I took it. I didn't care. I'll probably throw this out. I have no use for this. Maybe I'll keep it. Maybe I'll put the games back in it, actually. But like I said, they are really all sport games. There's some racing games in here. There's 2 copies of Gran Turismo. They both work. I tested some of the games. The system works. The system, the off button's a little finicky. You have to kind of press down a little hard on this to get it to stick, to get it to, you know, latch into place, but that's not a big deal. Second game here is Driver. Pop this one and it plays. Most of the discs are all in pretty good shape, so they probably all work. I'll test the rest of them anyway though. WCW Nitro. Some of them don't have their manuals. This is a disappointment of it. I saw this one. I didn't look at every game when I looked, but I looked at like more than half of them, and I saw Twisted Metal too, but I knew. I got home, and I was like, I'm going to pop this open, and I guarantee Twisted Metal 2 isn't in here, and it wasn't. It's NHL 2000, which kind of sucks, but if I come across this game, I do have the case manual. Gran Turismo 2 was in there. This one works as well. This and the first Gran Turismo actually look pretty decent graphically for PlayStation games. Destruction Derby 2. Pop this one in for a second, just to see it load up. This one was actually pretty fun. I played this for about 10 minutes. WWF In Your House. It's kind of like an arcade wrestling game, I guess. You like punch the dudes and like it's like you're like playing. I was playing in like the desert or something, like the Grand Canyon area or something like that. And you punch the guys and you see like explosions and stuff, and like little WWF symbols come out of the guys and stuff that you pick up for points, I guess. It's very arcadey. I guess it's just a straight arcade wrestling game. Pretty decent though. There's another copy of Gran Turismo. There was, let me see if I can find them here. There was 3 NASCAR games. NASCAR 2000, 98, and NASCAR Racing. I didn't try this one yet. I wouldn't actually mind trying to get into one of these because I always wanted to get into like a NASCAR game and I never did over the years. It's kind of like the soccer games besides the FIFA ones on the Genesis back in the day. I can't find myself getting into them. I always want to try to get back into them, but I never do. NBA Fast Break 98. 2 more NHL games, 97 and 98. Wayne Gretzky's 3D hockey. You know, I'm not going to bother with the rest of these, I don't think. Oh, here's one, different one. 2 more races. Kart World Series. This is an IndyCar game. And Sports Car GT. Well, there's 4. There's NBA Live. There's 2 NBA Lives in there, 99 and 97. There's 4 game day games. Here's one of them. Old Terrell Davis on the cover. He's on the cover of 2, man. I'm a big Broncos fan. And it was a shame his career got cut short because he was something else, man. 4 full years he played a little bit after he got hurt, but he never got a full season. He played into, I think, 2000, or maybe 2001 was his last year, but he never was able to play a full game after. But his 4 full years were insane. He had 2 Super Bowls. He helped the Broncos get a Super Bowl, which fucking brought me to tears when they beat the Packers because they were the butt end of every Super Bowl joke. Up until that point, their last Super Bowl they got destroyed, but they still have the 2, and he's one of my favorite players. Incredible. 2,000-yard season, a league MVP, a Super Bowl MVP, all in 4 years. Another NBA Live, some more game, triple play. There's some baseball games in there, and 2 college games, March Madness, basketball, and NCAA football 98. That big, nobody needs to see 20 fucking football games. There's a Madden game in there too. I think it's 97. But I thought it was a really good deal, honestly, to get all that stuff. Even with the sport games, I didn't care. I was like, $20 is good because if you take the system of 3 controllers and the memory cards and you throw in, you know, a wrestling game, the Gran Turismos, and like, you know, the driver game and something else, that's like $20, honestly. That would be worth $20. So I'll probably, I don't know what I'll do with some of these. I may get rid of some of them, sell them, or whatnot, but I'll probably keep some and play them. Why not, right? I never had a PlayStation when I was a kid. I went to the N64 after the Super Nintendo. I guess I really wasn't a kid at that point. I was a senior in high school when I got the N6 when the N64 came out in '96. So I never had the PlayStation. I went right to. I was pretty much a Nintendo guy until I got the Cube, and the Cube fucking, which is a great system, but they didn't have the games. So I went to and I got an Xbox, and then I had like 3 cubes, sold them an Xbox, 2 PlayStation 2s. But yeah, you know, it's cool to have the system though to play some of these games and stuff like. Even though I have the PlayStation 2 Slim, but you know, it's cool to have the actual system. It's the older one too. It's not the little baby friggin' second PlayStation they put out. Jesus Christ, that thing was like this big. But yeah, pretty good deal I think. And you know, I just wanted to show that stuff off real quick, show what I got, and hope everybody's having a good weekend. And thanks everybody for checking this out, and have a good day.